So I'm coming up to the final, and now I got my 6 on there, so I'm going to pull through all. And if you've done it right, you should end up with 2 posts left on the bottom. So what we want to do is just double crochet ourselves into those final 2. And the reason why we should end up 2 is if you remember, and make sure on the final one you do not go into this gap. That is so important. I always say that in every tutorial. You have to make sure you go into the chain in order to make that final one. If you go into that gap, it's going to pull your work apart. So what we want to do is we finished off with 2 over here, because if you looked at the front, you remember how we just did the 1 and 2 and then we went into the bump? Well, that's why. So the bumps are quite outstanding on this. So the next line that we want to do is we want to just turn this material, and we want to work back across this line here in every stitch that you have available as a triple crochet. So let's do this again. So let's chain up 4. We always chain up 4 for triple crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then what we do is we look at it. Now this post here matches this chain, so we go into the next stitch, which is right there. It's important on this one here that we do not add any extra stitches or drop any stitches because of the bumps working themselves together. So we want to look at it. The next one is the actual bump that we pulled together, so we just want to wrap and wrap and then go into that one. So let's go across this line as a triple crochet, and we're going to start our very next line. We are coming to our final end now, and it's the last post, so make sure you get into that last chain, not the gap, but the actual chain, before we turn around to go again. So this is a triple crochet, and then what we're going to do is turn our material and come back. And what we want to do now is that we want to make sure that the lumps going the other way are now misaligned, and we're actually not going to start our lump back here. We're actually going to start it over here, causing us to actually double crochet further into our project. So let's turn it around and double crochet. We always chain up 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to look at this project now, and we are going to count over to the 5th one available. So this is 1 post. So what we want to do is just double crochet ourselves all the way until we get to the 5th one over. So that's 3, 4. And now the 5th one here, I've determined through the pattern, is that's exactly where you want to go in order to cause it to have a lump. And if you look at it here, the 5th one here matches, if you look at it, it matches in between these 2 here. So every time you're doing this line, you'll want to jump over to the 5th. So again, we just want to triple crochet ourselves, 5 together /1, making sure we get our 6 on our hook, and we want to continue that along. So just keep going. We're just making our first cluster of this line. That's 4. You got 5 on the hook, and now this is a 6. Okay, now pull through all 6, and now we want to do our double crochet like we were doing before. So we just want to come down and put 3 double crochets in a row. So 1, 2, and 3. And so now what we want to do, the very next one, we want to put in another cluster of 5. So continue to do that same configuration of doing your clusters like you're doing right now, and then 3 double crochets, and then continue to work your way across the line. We'll meet back up again where we start our next line. So we're coming to the final, and you can see the lumps, the undersides of the lumps on this back side here. And what we want to do is because we started our lump over here, right, and not so far close to the edge, on the other side we want to make sure we do the same thing. So this, in actual fact, what we're going to do is we're going to end our lump in between the 2 lumps that are on the next line below. So we want to make sure that we do that every time we go every other one. So continue to do that, and let's continue along with this tutorial. Hopefully by now you're starting to see the pattern. So you see the 2 lumps on the underside, and now if we turn it up the other way, you can actually see it on the overside. So next time, the next line, what we want to do is we want to do a triple crochet. So there's always a triple crochet in between each of the lumps, so you can remember that. So one line will be like this, where we started on the 3rd post coming over, so we have 2 posts and then the lump, and then when we get to this one here, we actually have 4 posts and then the lump. So in the next one, we're just going to triple crochet ourselves across, and I'll get you started on this one, and then you can see the pattern's actually the same. So we've just finished done our next row, which was the triple crochet. We're just going to turn it, and now this one here starts really close, so it's the third one over. So when we go to turn it around, let's begin to chain up our 3 for our triple crochet. Sorry, chain up our 4. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, chain up 2, chain up 3. Sorry, for double crochet. Now this counts as your post over the post, and what we want to just do is double crochet ourselves into the very next one, and now we're going to start our bump like we did before, and those are triple crochets like before. So this here is the pattern. You can see it. We've already covered this line, and that's exactly what you're going to do for this entire tutorial. It's actually really easy. Again, it's a bit of a yarn pig, but a fabulous pattern for being very three-dimensional, and you could almost make an Afghan for a new an expected mom saying it's her baby bump Afghan. But there you go. The sky's the limit, and enjoy another free tutorial from AllFreeCrochet and Mikey's Mail.